Hello again. Welcome to Embroidery for Beginners by me, Miss Teg. Thanks for following along. Okay, it's gonna look like we need a lot of supplies, but really just some scrap fabric, an embroidery hoop. You can get these for cheap at the craft store. An embroidery needle, my lone one. Scissors. Any scissors will do, but these small embroidery ones work really well. Embroidery floss, and keep it nice and organized like I do. Okay, so how do we get this fabric into this hoop? Well, this little screw on the top is what's going to tighten it and loosen it. So we're going to turn it left, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? So these two come apart. There's different types of embroidery hoops, different sizes. We're going to add our scrap fabric into there. This is just an old shirt that I cut up. And press it down. Make sure everything's in there. Check the sides. Make sure that all the fabric is sticking out. I could have made this piece of scrap fabric a little bigger, but we want to make sure we have sides sticking out so that they don't slip out. And then we're going to turn it to the right and tighten it, tighten it, tighten it. Once you have it tight enough, you can kind of tug on the fabric to make sure it is extra tight. All right, get this out of here. Now we're gonna go to our embroidery floss. I'm gonna choose a nice dark blue for you all to see. Beginning embroidery, a good size to cut it is the length of your forearm. We don't wanna cut super long embroidery floss because then it'll get all twisted and tangled up, and trust me, it's better to rethread than to use a super long thread at the beginning. So as you can see, kind of zoomed in, embroidery floss is actually the makeup of 6 individual threads put together. This is a really crucial part of embroidery, and something that I see a lot of beginning embroiderers do is they just use the entire floss. We don't want to do that. That's going to get bunchy. So I normally try to separate it into 3s. So half and half, 3 and 3. All of a sudden we had one piece of floss, and now we are going to make 2. So go ahead and separate it right there at the top. And you can see, there's 2 directions this yarn can go. So this is going to be a little tricky at the beginning, but what I like to do is clamp both sides in fingers like that, and use my left hand to kind of just push down. This is going to get twisted up and tangled. You can stop halfway through and unravel it. Clamp those again, and keep pushing, pushing, pushing until it's now 2 threads. Yay! And you see how long that took. Continuing with our labor of love that is embroidery, we're going to thread the needle. The little hole in the center, that is the eye of the needle. Before we can thread it, we want to tie a knot. This is my trick I do. I wrap it around my finger 3 times loosely, very loosely. Slip that off. Make sure the end piece is folding over the knot, and then push that through the hole. And again, loosely pull on it. Loosely, loosely, loosely. And then we make one big mega knot like this. Cool. Using the other end of the thread, we're gonna thread the needle. And a trick I do here is I just lick it. Makes it a little bit wet. You can twist it up and then put this through the eye of the needle. I actually get this on my first try, which do not expect to do. I've been embroidering for 20 years. It is, again, a labor of love. It can be tricky. Embroidery is one of the oldest living art forms. It dates back to 30,000 BC. That's 30,000 years ago. Okay, so let's start stitching it. So there's a front and a back. This is the back. As you can see, I kind of drew on it already. That's just practice. We poke it through the back first always because we want our knot in the back. So then you go through, and now you're at the front. You don't have to keep flipping it around like I'm doing, but this is just for beginners. Push it again up, maybe 1/4 of an inch above your line. This is called the running stitch, and then This is a trick that I love to do. And what I'm going to do is stick this needle in between the 3 threads of the first knot. Kind of just poke it through there. So then that way we create an even stronger knot from our mega knot. And then right here I'm just doing the running stitch. So I'm just poking it back through, poking it through the front, poking it through the back. You can kind of use your needle to press on the fabric before poking it all the way through to make sure you're in the right spot when you're coming through the back. Okay, let's finish this thing. We say we want to tie this off. Flip it over to the back. And I'm going to do that trick again using the needle as a finger where I wrap it around 3 times to make a bigger mega knot. What I love about embroidery is the customization. It takes forever, it is painstaking, but we can use it to change our clothing, change our accessories. There is so much customization that can be done with embroidery. So if you want to make it nice and neat, you can weave it through these other back stitches you have. And yeah, there you have it. Nothing beats someone saying I like that, and you saying I embroidered this, and they say oh cool, and they don't care. It's really worth it. Thank you for watching.